Good evening. Violence has plagued the community of North Battleford, and now residents are battling back against crime. Last night, residents gathered to hear from police in the city about a Neighbourhood Watch program aimed at improving safety. The normally quiet community is #1 in the Crime Severity Index, making it the crime capital of Canada. It's experienced a rise in violent crime over the last several months, with more offences involving firearms. Some of the crime is linked to gang activity, which range from drive-by shootings to a homicide. The mayor says the meeting is the beginning of a determined effort to reverse the trend.
The Watch program in its own right is probably one of the most significant things that a community can do to lessen their risks. And that's getting to know your neighbors. And that's community. And I think that it's so important that we get back to doing that.
Now, the city has had discussions with the province to get more police officers on the streets. It's also working on other potential initiatives. 6 vehicles stolen from the Maidstone area have been recovered, according to the Battleford's RCMP. Now, all of them were found in heavily bushed areas on Sweetgrass First Nation on October 13th. 2 of the vehicles were heavily damaged from fire. Police say all of the vehicles were stolen over the previous weeks from the Maidstone and Cutknife areas, and that all owners have been notified. Residents of Cold Lake gathered at Holy Cross Elementary yesterday for a special announcement from Habitat for Humanity Edmonton. Now, the project involves an apartment complex across the way. Fraser Snowden was there and has the story.
It was the first project of its kind in Cold Lake, allowing 22 families to get a new home in this apartment building. Friends, family, and city officials were all there to commemorate the event for the families given the keys. 13-year-old Kennedy will be moving in with her mom, Teresa.
This is important because we haven't actually physically owned a house before, and we've been suffering for a lot of things, and this is finally a time where we can get back on our feet.
This project has been a long time coming for the city, and Mayor Copeland says Cold Lake really needed a boost in housing.
It's a good start for housing in Cold Lake. You know, average house in Cold Lake now is going up around $420,000. So it's really hard for anybody to afford a mortgage.
Organizers with Habitat for Humanity say it takes a lot of teamwork to get a project like this up and going.
The provincial government has been amazing to Habitat. You know, we obviously, we're a charity and we rely on donations, but on a project like this it was special, and so we needed a real helping hand, and the province gave that. And I applaud Mayor Copeland and the council.
In Cold Lake, Fraser Snowden, Newcap News.
Halloween isn't just about dressing up, it's also about the candy, something many children look forward to. Now, although the candy is a sweet deal, the amount of sugar for your child's teeth isn't as good. In this week's Healthy Living, we give you some healthy Halloween tips to make sure your child's teeth are cavity-free. Anna Stanislaw has more.
Okay, I'm just going to take a look there. Just open big for me there and close.
A trip to the dentist for any kid may not be as enjoyable as trick-or-treating. Dr. Neki Jamal says it's a tough time of year as kids want to eat as much as candy as possible, and there's no such thing as good candy for teeth.
Like, technically the worst thing, in my opinion, would probably be the pixie sticks with those straws full of sugar, because that sugar just sits on your teeth the whole time, eh? Chocolate bars are bad. Anything that's really hard, you have a chance of breaking a tooth, especially if you have a filling in it from before or a cavity in that tooth.
There are a few ways for parents to make sure their children still have a fun and healthy Halloween. Dr. Jamal says kids can still eat their candy, but in moderation. Drinking water after also helps get the sugar out. A few good alternatives to candy would be sugarless gum, popcorn, or dried fruit.
Now, the best way to protect your child's teeth after Halloween is as simple as brushing and flossing twice a day.
We tend to see a lot of cavities between the back teeth, and that's usually where they are. Most people will brush their teeth really quick, and when you're brushing your teeth, you'll get the tops and sides of your teeth pretty good, so usually those are okay.
And if you feel like your child has had enough candy, Wayside Dental Center is having their annual candy buyback program.
Every pound that a child brings in of their Halloween candy, not in liquid form, it needs to be wrapped and sealed. they can get an entry to win an iPad.
The dental center then donates the candy to CFB Wainwright. Last year, more than 600 pounds was donated to the Canadian military. The candy will be used for their Christmas hamper program and may even be sent overseas.
It's all good to have a little bit of a treat, but we don't want to overindulge, especially this time of year. We hear that kids sometimes hold on to their Halloween candy for up to 6 months.
We do limit how much they do eat of it, and it's a great idea that here they're, if you bring in your candy, you have a chance to win an iPad. I think the kids are very excited for that.
Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.